Alright, so I'm going to finish up these update videos by talking about some of the update stuff, yes. The database stuff. So, basic stuff, every character has their own element, like fire, water, whatever. Jax is water. From there you'll have to figure it out on your own, which means they do more damage to certain enemies, they take more damage from certain enemies, less damage from certain enemies. Typical RPG elemental stuff. But then each one also has their own special trait. Jax is counterattack. Everybody has their own. You're going to have to figure them out for yourself, as I said. I'm not giving everything away. Skills. Most of the skills are done. Except maybe some more associated with like artifacts and things I haven't added to the game yet. I'm not going to say they're completely done because I'm not sure. I might think of something else that I want a character to be able to do, or have an item that gives them some skill or something. But all the main skills, all the ones that need to be in the game, are in the game. Now, they're finished. I still need to work on making sure everything works okay, but other than that, everything's in. Armor is going to be different than the older versions of the game because I copied and pasted in the basic armors from Citadel of Arkit, which is a Dungeons & Dragons inspired game. And one of the conventions of armor in Dungeons & Dragons is that anyone can wear any kind of armor, but it might not be the best idea for certain classes. Like, if you're a stealthy character, then walking around in plate mail, or plate armor, or chainmail even isn't necessarily a good idea. You tend to be noisy. If you're someone who uses magic, you're a wizard or a mage or a sorcerer or something, and you need to be able to do gestures and speak freely to do your chants, or just be able to summon the energy. And, metal in a lot of fantasy worlds impedes magical energy. In this case, I'm sticking with a convention in that anybody will be able to wear any kind of armor, but certain types of armor will have detrimental effects for certain characters, like reducing agility and magic points and magic attack and defense and whatnot. Or not necessarily magic defense, but definitely magic attack skill. Weapons, everybody's getting 7 weapons. I think that's a decent number for progressing the characters through the game. Since it's more of a skill-based game, skill tactical hack and slash than gear-based. So most of the stuff you're going to be doing is going to have to do with your skills. Going back to skills right quick, every skill, this is definitely a new thing, but in the original version of the game, one of the story elements is that the characters are able to use magic. And that's why they've been brought to this world to begin with, is because of their ability to use this magic that they inherently have. So now all the skills use magic points. Not all of them, some of the just straight up attack type skills don't, but spells will cost magic points and use skill points, and skills, the more special skills, will use skill points and some magic points. So you're going to have to be more careful on how you use your skills in this version of the game. Good variety of skills. As I believe I said in the last video, your wizard in this one, instead of just having the default assortment of spells, this game doesn't really have a default, as I said, I believe. But in the old version, I just left the default stuff in. This one, you're going to be able to pick and choose the spells you want your wizard to know. You buy them, and then he learns them. So you can customize your spell assortment that way. And there's going to be elemental attacks. There's going to be the usual suspects. I'm not going to try and get fancy on the spells and stuff. I just wanted to make sure that there was a good assortment of stuff to use, and sometimes some things will be more useful than others, and tactical. That's, I wanted to try to make it to where every single skill could potentially be used at any stage of the game. So, no dead skills, hopefully. Nobody's ever going to be completely immune to anything except maybe just straight up being killed. Bosses, for example, you don't want them to just die on the first hit necessarily. That would kind of kill it. No challenge there. But I didn't really incorporate death magic in, so that's not really a big issue. Yanfly just recently released a new plugin to modify how poison or damage over time effects work. I've already incorporated that, and I love that way it handles things. It's way more flexible than the straight percentage system. So basically, at any time in the game, any skill you've learned should potentially be useful, because you're going to have to manage your points better, and some things will work better on some enemies than others. Some enemies will be very susceptible to certain things. So all of that stuff hopefully will be useful throughout the entire game, the skills. So that covers all that stuff. Enemies, at this point there's over 190 enemies. Different enemies. Let's see. I've done some of my own animations, modified, color changed, and tweaked existing animations. I can't draw worth a damn. But I actually went to school, WATC is what it was called, but a technical college for graphic design. So I can use Photoshop. Well, I haven't used Photoshop in years, but I use GIMP all the time, which is another image editing program, picture editing, image editing, and I use that all the time for doing stuff on this. I do some of my own tile manipulations and additions and stuff. So that's also, there's going to be some of my own. I don't want to give any of it away. You're just going to have to see it for yourself when you play the game. The more customized stuff that I've done. But I have customized some of the animations to make new ones that for my own, adapted them for skills and things I wanted to do. I also, for the end boss, the final boss, I bought Hibiki's Lords of Darkness resource pack. It's got 8 battlers in it. The battlers are the bad guy images that you fight against. And unfortunately, they were really just static images with some variations to them. So I'm using Yanfly's plugins anyway to get some animation into the battles to begin with. So he's going to float, which gives him a little bit more life. But then I also took the time to go into GIMP and do some basic animation and color changing and stuff. So if he gets hit with a status effect, it changes the way he looks when he uses skills and stuff. There's a brief animation that plays. When he's put to sleep, it does something different. When he's really low on hit points, it changes how he looks. He starts getting a more muted look to him, so it looks like he's dying. When he's dead, he looks even more muted, and most of it's just color manipulations and things like making his eyes blacked out for when he's asleep and stuff. But it's better than a static image, is my thinking. Even if it isn't the best animation in a game, that is not my forte at all. I did the best I could with it. So I think it turned out pretty good, and it's way better than a static image on that count. I think that's pretty much all of the database stuff covered. That's pretty much everything covered as far as updates go. So I'm trying to think if there is anything else I wanted to cover. I don't think there is. So yeah, yeah, I think that wraps it up. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and share the video with your buddies. Leave a comment if you want. Subscribe so you know when new videos go up. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.